Ash Wednesday. Let charity be an example. Because the meaning of the imposition of ashes on the heads of the faithful is not that of mortification, but of the new life and vivification, as in ancient agricultural practices. In fact, during the cold season the farmers accumulated the ash, and at the end of winter they spread it on the fields to fertilize them. Similarly, for the new meaning of the ashes, sign an invitation to fruitful flowering. They do not want to lead us to Good Friday, but to Easter. Welcome to our channel that compares gospel topics and Franciscan sources. For a more complete overview of our human, cultural and spiritual proposal, we suggest you visit the website juvie.art. Matthew 6 verses 1-6, 16-18. Liturgy of Ash Wednesday brings to our reflection 3 key points of the Lenten period. The finger is pointed at discreet charity, on prayer in hiddenness, on fasting from sin combined with corporal one, attested by a joyful face. The poor man of Assisi. After his initial conversion, he never stopped meditating on Jesus' 40 days in the desert before his public life, and constantly thought about Easter, of the Lamb slain for our redemption. Francis lived his entire existence according to a penitential style, without form ever dominating substance, implementing the word in a wise human and spiritual balance, synonymous with inner stature. He was hard on himself, but tender and compassionate with the friars who indulged in debilitating fasts. In the sources we read, Francis rebuked his brethren who were too harsh towards themselves, and who reached exhaustion from staying up all night, fasting, orations, and corporal penance. Indeed, some people, in order to repress the burning heat of their senses, inflicted on themselves such cruel torments that they seemed to be suicidal. The man of God forbade such excesses, admonishing those brethren with love, and calling them to common sense, healing their wounds with the medicine of wise instructions. Sources 1470. He continually carried in his memory the passion of Christ, and he called himself for mortification. If he sat at table with people of the world and they offered him food that he liked, he barely tasted them, making up some excuse so that they would not notice that he was depriving himself of them as penance. And eating with brothers, he often put ash on food, saying, to conceal his abstinence, Sister Ash is chaste. Sources 1414. But also, for love of the friars. He knew how to make himself one with their needs and weaknesses. Although, then, with all his strength he encouraged the friars to an austere life. Yet he did not like that uncompromising severity that does not clothe the bowels of pity, and it is not seasoned with the salt of discretion. A friar, due to excessive fasting. One night he could not sleep at all, tormented as he was by hunger. The compassionate shepherd, realizing that his sheep was in danger, he called the friar and put some bread in front of him. And, to save him from blushing, he began to eat first, while he sweetly invited the other to eat. Sources 1095. So the brother drove away the shame, and happily took food. Francis' vigilance and condescension. They had avoided the damage to the friar's body, offering him cause for great edification. In the morning, explaining what had happened to his sons, he said to them, "To you, brethren, let not food be an example, but charity." Sources 1095. The minimum. He was animated by a strong contemplative sense. Celano, in The Second Life, informs us, "He was not so much a man who prays, but rather he himself completely transformed into living prayer." Sources 681. He always sought secluded spaces where he could unite with Christ. And if suddenly he felt visited by the Lord, to avoid being left without a cell, he made a small one with his cloak. And if he was sometimes without this, he covered his face with his sleeve, so as not to reveal the hidden manner. Sources 681. When you pray, go into your room and close your door. Pray to your Father, which is in the secret. That conversion, which began for the poor man, when he stopped adoring himself, as the sources say, it lasted a lifetime, merging into the three directions described and suggested by the Gospel. But when you give alms, let not your left hand know what your right hand is doing, so that your almsgiving may be in secret, and your Father who sees in secret will reward it for you. Thank you all for your kind attention. Please subscribe to our channel to stay updated on our activities. If you liked it, leave a well done to support us. Subscribe, give your precious like, share with your friends, and feel free to comment. Thank you, join us, and see you soon.